And another thing I want to say is, in terms of music, I feel like it's getting very harder and harder to find new stuff, and it feels like there's more slim pickings, you know. Because years ago, I was on a roll with the artists I was finding. I was on a roll. I was like, BOTDF 2011, boom. And after that, it was like Rush the Russian Rapper around the same time. And it was like, 3 Pac, the Troll Rappers. Then like 2014, somewhere around there, found JB, and I found Novi Novak around 2011, same time I found Hobson. It felt like everything was a fast pace where I was finding artists after artist after artist, and it felt like it was going good. Whereas nowadays, it's very hard to find new music. It really is. Like, I got lucky with Mark V, Never Ever. That's a dope song. That's like the last new stuff I found. Fix Craven Phantom, I found that I think last year. So finding new music is another issue. Much like video games, having the same problem with music where, I still have music to listen to, but in terms of new stuff, and I don't mean like new stuff coming out. I mean, I take that into account, like new stuff coming out as well as stuff that is already out, and trying to find something that I haven't found yet. It's very difficult. Same thing with movies. I haven't been able to find a decent, like whenever I try to watch a movie these days or get in the mood for it, I have a hard time finding a film to watch. I really do. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, music, I'm not full blown disappointed, but I definitely feel like there are a huge amount of missed opportunities that could happen. Like, I know that Davi kind of had some problems, but I still feel like he could probably put out a decent album, put it out on CD, and as long as he denoted the fact of just like he wanted to make amends for everything horrible that he did, maybe eventually he could rectify like his reputation and stuff. And that just really happens to be the thing. I mean, I don't know about Blood on the Dance Floor as a band, but maybe like the Most Vivid Nightmares could put out an album. He could find like some real cool gothic person like Javon again, make it like a group like it was back in those days. Because Davi, from my knowledge, is not even 40. That's the thing. I mean, he's still in his 30s. He's still young enough to where he could do music like that. He could find like another new gothic cat and do some music like that, and Most Vivid Nightmares could be like the next big thing. But it just feels like he's just sulking too much. And then there's like folks like Ludacris. I feel like Ludacris, he's in his early 40s and he's just wasting away because the only thing he ever feels like doing now is just those damn Fast and the Furious movies. And I mean, it was fine like 6-7 years ago when they were doing like Fast 6 and Fast 7, but it's like, come on, Ludacris, you need to put more effort out than just those damn movies. I just feel like I've really like, for some reason, Ludacris has a certain appeal to me. Like, I feel like his guest verses do really well, but it's just too bad because he has like the proper lyricism and crafting of songwriting that makes his albums pretty addicting. And it's too bad he realized that, by like Battle of the Sexes and stuff. And then he just started putting out albums less and less. And I could really use another album after Ludaversal. He needs to do something. I just feel like maybe, I know that rappers eventually do retire, but I feel like, I mean, the guy was in his 30s basically when he did Ludaversal. So it's just it's like, come on, Luda, do at least a few more. Do an EP, do a mixtape, do something like that. There are just a bunch of other missed opportunities that I feel like, I wouldn't say music would suck this badly if these musicians could just figure it out. Like, I was really disappointed that the Slaughterhouse Glass House album didn't come out. I mean, that was really too bad. I think that would have been a pretty popular project. And, Eminem and Royce the 5'9" missed an opportunity to do, like, another Bad Meets Evil project. And 50 Cent had all this time to drop Street King Immortal. I mean, I really would have wanted it most like back in 2012 when he was still on Shady Records. But, I mean, if he would have ultimately done that, he put out his final Shady Records album in 2017, which was just the greatest hit. So even though he got off Shady Records, he was still technically on Shady Records until he dropped his 5th album, which he had between 2012 and 2017 to do. And he should have just put out Street King Immortal, even if it would have flopped. I mean, the thing about Before I Self-Destruct is that album flopped too. I mean, that album did pretty terrible in terms of sales and popularity. And I just would have said, if people liked it, but it flopped, it just meant that 50 Cent was past his prime. But I get the feeling I would have liked Street King Immortal. And, just records like that. I mean, the problem is not so much that music sucks entirely. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things about it. It's just the fact that people keep fumbling the ball. And that's the stupid thing about it is I'm tired of all these unreleased albums. I'm tired of all this cancel culture where people are forced to back out of music because they get canceled. Like, I don't know if Marilyn Manson's going to put out another album because of the stuff that happened last year. I mean, we may never get another Marilyn Manson album. So people get canceled. The albums get canceled. The albums flop. They get dropped from the label. I mean, that's what's contributing to a lot of this is music that I do want to hear. There's just a lot of interference. And I don't know what music wants to be heard right now. It doesn't want to hear the Marilyn Mansons, the Blood on the Dance Floors, the 50 Cents, the Slaughterhouses. It's more interested in just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to bag on like mumble rap too horribly. I mean, but I just kind of have to say, I just wonder why that's trying to be like the only central thing going on in rap music right now and just music in general.